Hello, my name is Braden Adams, and I'm here to present my final for accessibility design. This is a project that I had begun working on a couple semesters ago. It's breaking it down. It's essentially a application that allows the user to find dog walkers and dog groomers in their available area and in their immediate area as well. I wanted to create an application that had a simple and clean design, and I really wanted to utilize a simple and straightforward color palette. I did this project, yes, a couple semesters ago, and while I was working on it, I realized that I was intentional in keeping the design easy to read and easy to understand. But one of the most important factors of this design that I failed to consider initially was the color scheme, which is such an important aspect of creating an appealing and appeasing design. However, as you can see here, the color scheme is primarily blue and green, which I did end up keeping in this final iteration of the design. However, I use these blue and greens as indicators as opposed to utilizing various symbols and shapes to allow the user to scroll through and to utilize the application. And this is a problem because as I spoke with individuals, one of my really good friends, he actually happens to be colorblind, and he has a very hard differentiation between blue and green. So he wasn't able to see things in a certain light in the way that I wanted it to be presented. So I went back with this overhaul and did my best to eliminate using blue and green as sole indicators. So for example, this box originally would be green, but you can't differentiate that, and you can't even see this icon if I were to make it blue because the blue and green are so similar, so it'd be difficult for the users to interact. I also applied a lot of the Gestalt principles to this as well in terms of the spacing and the kerning, but I'll get into that here. So all of this I left the same if it was just a symbol icon or a logo. Again, the logo is green, the blue, that doesn't necessarily need to be changed. This, however, does need to be changed because it was originally blue and green, and it was really difficult for the user to see the icon and to realize that, hey, I can touch this because it's so different. So making it a yellow differentiated from the rest of the site. So if I go here and click here, if I click this icon, all this needed to be changed. I needed to make sure that I had this appropriately. All these green icons, I had to include different icons such as stars and circles to allow the user who may not be able to see it the affordability to actually know that they can interact with, and it's a different icon. So over here, we have this individual over here, scheduling this pet care or leaving review. All of these individual buttons needed to be changed because I needed to make sure that I was allowing the proper affordance and I was making sure that it was all right. And lastly, one of the most important changes that I made to this was the communication page as well. Having these text boxes, they were originally the same color, and it was very hard to differentiate which user would be saying which. So I decided to change the shape, change the actual text in it to show the user that, hey, this is an affordance, this is an optionality that they have. And looking back at this, I had to completely overhaul the look and the design of this to ensure that it would differentiate and the users who could be able to see it.